Everyone, welcome. Today I'm at the Royal University of Phnom Penh, which is known for its architecture. It's quite a widespread campus, well, for being on foot, and so I'm not just going to walk around the whole time. So what I'll do is I'll edit a few clips of the beautiful architecture. You can actually see if I can zoom in, the roofs right there. Check that out. I'll try to go to that building too. The style of architecture is called New Khmer Architecture, or Khmer if you're pronouncing it literally. In Cambodia though, it's pronounced Khmer. So here we go. Wow, look at that amazing building with the roundness of it. Here's where the students eat. Yes, it's a university, but it's still Cambodia, and the traditional red and blue plastic chairs at little restaurants where you eat. Just beyond that, it looks like there's a green area, but the trees are blocking that. But yeah, that's an amazing building right there. I'm finally on the ground level, and look at the architecture of the bottom of this building. It's very interesting. And I mentioned that it's called New Khmer Architecture. And Van Mollyvon is the man who did a lot of the design and who is really known for kicking off the New Khmer Architecture style. It's known for its ventilation. So because they didn't, I mean, air conditioning was invented, of course, but not every place had it. So it was designed to have natural airflow, to keep everything cool without using air conditioning. Even the stairs look amazing. Look at the lines of these buildings. Absolutely amazing. So beautiful. Actually, right here, next to that building is a nice little pond or lake with a water wheel. It looks like maybe a very special tree in the middle. I'm not sure if this is a new building or if it's always been here, but it's the Cambodia-Korea Cooperation Center here on the campus. And they certainly kept in line with the New Khmer architecture style. Look at those beautiful curves over the doorway. Closer view of what I was just talking about with those curves. Absolutely beautiful. And another view of the lake or pond. A closer view of that round building that we saw from the stairways. Here's another view from the other side. So this building to me seems a little bit more boring, but if you're into architecture, which if you're watching this far, I assume you are, you've got to remember these were built in the 1960s as King Father Sihanouk was trying to build the country. So actually it's very modern for that time, for the 1960s, I would think. And at the time when this was built, literally Singapore had just got their independence and came to Cambodia on a tour to see what a modern country would look like, because Cambodia and Phnom Penh was the most modern country in all of Asia. You think now Hong Kong, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Shanghai, Bangkok. All those skyscrapers and stuff weren't built until the 70s, right? So in the 60s, all of this was really the most modern in all of Asia. And it was known as the Pearl of Asia. Now this is interesting. Some kind of viewing platform for the garden below? I don't know, but it's definitely of the original architecture. Now this is just a larger size of what pretty much every school in Cambodia looks like. They're not usually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories, or in Cambodia they actually count it ground 1, 2, 3, 4. There might just be 2 or 3 stories throughout the country, the public schools. But it is a good view to point out these slats for ventilation. I was mentioning the ventilation design before, so that as the hot air rises in a room, it can go out or be blown out from cool, air coming in and then going out the other side, blowing away all that hot air. So which probably also made like a convection kind of thing to get any hot air below out. They were designed very well. Here's another example of that new Khmer architecture I was talking about. The design shapes you see there. You can see it in the building across over there. Look at the design work. This is the building that we saw just a moment ago through the trees. So you can see from a different angle in a little bit. Look at that. The way it's on stilts, again, to kind of be able to reach a breeze. If you're too low on the ground, the air's still, but the higher up you are, you can catch a breeze for that ventilation. And they didn't just make holes for ventilation, they made them very artistic. I believe this is the library. Although those signs in front say something about international studies and Southeast Asia studies, but maybe they just use the library as the entrance to the building with the studies. Again, the classic architecture. This is the Cambodia Japanese Cooperation Center. I'm not sure when it was built. Definitely you can see some Japanese influence now, like on the light post where those 2 ladies are about to be walking. The top of that light post looks like a Japanese lantern. The roof almost looks Japanese as well, but the main building, dare I say, looks a little bit Russian, because there was some Russian influence back in the day. A lot of cooperation between the 2 countries. But it's not the Khmer new architecture like the rest of it. And there in the background is that building we were just looking at, the opposite end of it. Even the stairs, a lot of thought put into it. This is just lovely, with those like roots of some kind of plant hanging down off. I think that's a Bodhi tree that's like that. But we saw the rounded roofs of this building from the stairway in the beginning, and now they've got a nice little courtyard with umbrellas and seats for students. I think it might be some kind of gymnasium, but I'm not sure. We're gonna go take a look at it from the other side. That was just beautiful as I was riding by. So here you can see the front of the building. If you hear some whistling, that's the security guard. Doesn't want me stopped here. But just quickly getting you a little bit of what this looks like from this side. And remember, there was a lot of these going. All right, I gotta go. Alrighty, so this one is a little bit different. It's more straight lines instead of curves. But definitely what I notice about this is that villas, houses that were built in the new Khmer architecture sometimes often have this like kind of in the front of the house. So it is a part of that time. I did the back of this building, but not the front of this building. If you can see it through the champai or frangipani trees. I'm going to go around to the front, and then this is going to be our last building of the tour. Aha, this one is the library. So I'm glad that I did mention that the signs in front of that other building did say the Center for International Studies and Southeast Asian Studies, because this one is the Hun Sen Library. Hun Sen being the Prime Minister. Of course, it wouldn't have been called that back in the 60s, but that's what it's called now. All right, so that's our last building. Here's a view of the campus. So I hope you enjoyed that. Nice, beautiful pond. All right. Have a great day.